Hello dear students. Hello dear students. So let us come across with the next section of your module 5. Okay, that tends to be protection. That is chapter 14 from operating system concepts Galvin. Okay, 9th edition. So it varies with your different editions there. Okay, so protection. So all of you know very well that when I'm speaking regarding, it can be operating system, it can be the files which I'm assessing, it can be the processes which the processes which are assessing, and all these things. Protection plays a very important role there. Okay, so it is ultimately, protection is nothing but you are controlling the access of the respective programs, or as it can be processes, or as users, okay, who are defined to use the respective resources there, okay, which are defined by an computing system there. So protection always ensures that only the processes that have those access permissions, okay, are with gained authorizations from the CPU. Okay, only they are being directed there. Protection is, it is most required one, so that we have an prevention towards mischievous or as intentional violation of any kind of access restrictions by the user there. Okay, so this is what we are studying here also in this particular section. So let us come across what all we are studying is goals of protection, principles, domain, access matrix, implementation of the same, access control, revocation, and capability based system with an example. Okay, so let us come across what do you mean by what is ultimately the principle of protection. Okay, so one is, always keep in mind, one thing which I have as a goal is, in one protection model, okay, so computer consists of a collection of objects. Okay, those objects can be, it can be a combination of hardware or software. Each object has a unique name and can be accessed through a well-defined set of operations. Okay, what is protection problem here? Protection problem is, it has to ensure that every object which is being assessed correctly, and no mischievous, no any other process which is not having that privilege assesses that. These are my goals of protection. Okay, what's my principle here? Principle here is called out as the guiding principle, or as we call it out as principle of least privilege. Okay, what is this? Programs, users, and systems should be given just enough privilege to perform their respective tasks. Okay, if at all a particular process, okay, or as a user does not require all the privileges which are to be given, so do not provide that. Only just give the minimum one. Ultimately, by doing so, I can limit the damages. Okay, if there can be an entity which can have which can have a bug gets abused. Okay, it can be static. Okay, so during the life of a system or its life of a processor, or else it can be dynamic. Okay, domain switching. Okay, so ultimately, these are the things, okay, which you'll be learning across as a principle of the respective protection. Okay, so for that, just come across to know that there happens to be a domain of protection which has to be carried across. Okay, what do you mean by this now? A computer system is nothing but a collection of processes and objects. Okay, objects, as I spoke just now, objects are combinations of both hardware and software. Okay, hardwares are objects such as, it can be CPU, memory segments, printer, disks, and tape drives. Okay, and what are these software objects? Software objects can be considered as files, programs, semaphores. All of them are considered as your respective software objects. Okay, and each object, or as a resource, okay, has an unique name that differentiate it from another object. Okay, of course I can say that CPU as an object is different from and memory segment as an object. Okay, so objects here are given with an notification called out as O. Writes permissions are given across with the notifications called out as read, write, execute, print, such kind of permissions there. You can just come across what are these. It has process should be allowed with only those respective resources for whom the permission is been given. Okay, so you can just come across here. SS writes, usually they are being given, your domain structure is a combination of two things. One is SS write equal to object name should be there, then the write set should be there. Okay, SS write is nothing but a domain. Okay, domain is equals to set of SS writes. Okay, now DN, D1. So here we can example D1, D2, and D3. D1 is a one which has three objects which it is using. O3 is used for read and write, O1 is used for read and write, O2 is used for only execute. D2 is where O2 as an object is used for only write. D3 O1 is used for execute, O3 is used for read. Okay, but they too as a domain use one thing which is common, and that is O4, which is used for print. Okay, to have this domain structure in progress, we take this as a protection as a matrix here. These are called out as your SS matrix. Okay, rows are represented as domains, columns are represented as objects. Okay, these are my objects, these are my domains. Okay, you can just come across. These are my 4 domains here with an example. These are the 3 files which I am accessing and a printer. Okay, D1 is an respective domain which is reading a file called as F1, reading a file called as F3. D2 prints using a printer. D3 reads F2, it executes F3. D4 read and write F1, read and write F3. Okay, so SS is given with an rule called as I comma j is a set of operation that a process executing in the domain I can invoke an object j. Okay, so here you can just come across what's the use of these SS matrices. These can be used as the operations which are specified there. Based on that, the operation is being performed, that is read, write, execute and all these things. Apart from that, there are some protections, or else there are some extended dynamic protections there. What are those? You can add or delete these SS rights, like who is the owner, okay, what kind of a copy operation can be given there, okay, can I have an control towards it, or else can I have an transfer. These are all the dynamic protections or extended protections which can be provided there. Okay, you can just come across what's the use of this SS matrix there. You can directly come with this particular example. You can just come across here. There are D1, D2, D3, D4. Okay, so always keep in mind there is a process executing in one domain and can be switched to another domain. Okay, when we switch, always keep in mind a process from one domain to another. We are executing an operation switch on an object that is on that particular domain. Okay, domain switching from DI to DJ is allowed only, okay, mind my statement, if and only if the SS write, whatever is there, switch, okay, is an element of the SS I comma j. Okay, only at that time that thing can be done. Okay, in this figure you can just come across a process executing in domain T, domain D2, okay, is switching towards with D3 and D4 or to the domain 4. Okay, the process in domain 4 can switch to domain D1. Okay, and one in D1 can switch to domain D2. Okay, these are all the things which are possible, which is being shown through this SS matrix. Okay, there is again with an SS matrix with these special permissions, as I said you just now, as with a copy. Okay, so what do you mean by copy? Copy is nothing but the ability to copy an SS write from one domain, okay, of the SS matrix to another is represented by an asterisk here. Okay, now it is like, for example, D1, okay, through a file F3 it can have a write copy. Okay, D2 can have a read copy. Okay, so here D1, okay, the same thing. Okay, how I can use these SS matrix with copyrights now. Okay, D1 is with as I said you, write and an asterisk there. D2 with a read and an asterisk. Okay, I can create and copy of it and provide it to another domain. Okay, now like for example D3. Okay, D3 I can create and copy and I can have it to my F2 as a file there. Okay, so it's with owner rights here, shown here. You can just come across. So D1 is an object. Okay, I say that D1 is the owner of this file called out as F1. Okay, and is with an execute as a permission, as usual. I'm writing it. Okay, read asterisk, that's with a copy permission, and along with that he's the owner of that particular file. Okay, then here also owner of that and read and write. Okay, only read I'm copying it. I'm not copying across with write that. The same thing I can use it here. You can just come across with an example. Okay, as it's an owner. Okay, so owner can do anything. Okay, he can read also, you can copy the read also, you can copy the write also. I'm doing the same thing here. Okay, so that is one change which can be allowed being as an owner. Okay, then the modified SS matrix, okay, using a switch, as I said you just now. Switch is switch along with a term called as control. So control is nothing but wherein we come across with an statement. Control is we want to say that along with that along with these things, there is an controlled accessibility towards. Okay, a mechanism is also needed. Okay, so wherein if SSIJ includes the control right, okay, then a process executing in the domain DI can remove any SS right from now. Okay, now that is nothing but D2 can remove any SS right from this D4. Okay, that is a switch control. Okay, so these things, okay, you can implement it using any of the three implementations there. Okay, so one is implementation of these SS matrix can be done using a global table. Okay, what is this global table? There are four different ways for this global table: SS list for objects, third one is capability list for domains, fourth one is lock key. Okay, what do you mean by global table is it's a very simplest implementation. Okay, it says with the terms called out as a set of ordered triples are taken here. Domain, then object, right sets. Okay, is maintained in a file. Okay, if this triple is found, the operation is allowed to continue. Otherwise, an exception and error condition is been shooted out there. Okay, but here what is one of the drawback is it's usually the table is usually large and it does not fit in a main memory there. Okay, it is difficult to group the objects. Okay, second one is SS list for objects there. Okay, whenever you are assessing list for objects, each column in the SS matrix can be implemented as an SS list for an object there. Okay, so here the resulting list for each object consists of ordered pairs here like domain and right sets. Okay, defining all domains with non-empty sets of SS rights for the object there. Okay, it can be easily extended to contain default sets. Okay, if M is an element of default set, also allow the SS there. Okay, third one, that is like for example each control domain 1 is with read write, domain 2 read defines who can perform that operation. Okay, capabilities list like a key. Okay, object F1 read. Okay, object F4 read write execute. Okay, what operations are allowed on what objects there. Object F5 read write delete and copy. Okay, so object 3, that is that is with the option 3, capability list for domains there. Okay, capability lists are nothing but in other way I can call it out as they are usually capability list is something like for a domain is a list of objects, okay, which can be together with the operations allowed on those objects. Okay, an object is often represented by its name. Okay, that's called out as an capability. Execute operation, that's like for example you can consider an M, okay, on object OJ. Okay, process request operations and specifies capability as a parameter there. Okay, it can be like rather it can be an protected object maintained by an operating system and assessed indirectly. Okay, so your capability list associated with domain, okay, they are not directly accessible. Okay, idea can be extended up to applications. Okay, the last one is lock key. Okay, compromise between your SS list and capability list is best way is to have the locks and key to it. Okay, each object has list of unique bit patterns called locks. Each domain as a list as a unique bit patterns called out as keys. Okay, process in a domain can only access objects if domain has a key that matches one of the locks. Okay, only that can be implemented. Okay, so followed it with that, let's come across with one more term called out as SS control. Okay, as I said, due protection can be applied for non-file resources there. Okay, privilege is the right to execute system call or else use an option within a system call. Okay, it's like something like user 1, they are the roles, these are the privileges which are being provided, executes with role 1 privilege there. Okay, that is there, it has been provided with 2 privileges with this particular process there. Okay, so that is called out in other way as revocation of SS rights now. Okay, various option to remove these SS rights of domain to an object is given. Okay, that can be immediate versus delayed, selective, general, partial, total, temporary, permanent. Okay, SS lists have been provided there, wherein you can have simple SS, search SS list and remove the entry. Okay, else any of these things which are being provided across as your SS rights there. SS rights there. Okay, what do you mean by this revocation of SS rights? It's nothing but reacquisition, back pointers, indirection, keys. Okay, so this capability list is a scheme which is required to locate capability in the system before capability can be revoked. Okay, reacquisition is periodic delete with require and denial if in a revoked there. Void pointers are nothing but set of pointers from each object to all the capabilities of that object. Okay, In direction is capability points. Okay, I'll tell this particular section in your